Ta-da! Hey, internet friend, this is Magic Brad at an undisclosed location in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's called the Magic Lounge. And welcome to the Magic Brad Show. I've got a friend online here. It is Magic Brad Show, themagicbradshow.com. I've got a friend that I've known forever, and that's a really long time. And this is going to be fun talking with her. And I did a thing together when I was doing magic more full time and did a magic music kind of thing together. And that's what we like to do. And we're going to be talking about her freedom project. And I'm all about freedom. I like time freedom. I don't like to be nailed down to a desk. I want to be portable with my phone and move around. And that's just the way I like it. So I'm going to go get my friend Gina out of the green room. Let's bring her on here and let's talk about freedom. There she is. Hi, Gina.
Hi, Brad. I don't remember doing that with you with music. Is that how we met?
No, but we did a little skit together, a little thing.
Oh, I'm sure we must have along the way somewhere.
Yeah. It's all that stuff. I also did a thing with Trisha. Do you know Trisha Haynes?
The name's familiar.
Trisha and the Tunes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know. I met her at some expo, probably an expo you did at where were you doing stuff there for a while?
International Market Square for a while.
Yeah. Weren't you with
Rick?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Absolutely. I'm in the entertainment business as well. You went a different route than I did. You were more the health and wellness, spirituality stuff, and I was doing more corporate marketing kind of stuff. But
yes, you were.
Entertainment is entertainment.
Yeah, I guess it is when you really get down to it.
Now you're back in the Midwest area, right? Because you were here in the Twin Cities, and then you bopped over to the West Coast.
I was out there. I don't know if I told you or not. My sister passed away a couple of years ago.
On Facebook, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't say much about it because I don't publicize that stuff.
No.
I just and that was really, really hard for me. Really hard. And so I kind of dropped out for a while, and I decided I was going to go out and spend some time with my family in Portland to kind of recover and see where I wanted to go with my life from there. Mm-hmm. I was planning on probably maybe a couple of months. I'd rented an Airbnb for a couple months. And then I was going to go on back to Sedona, where I had done, I don't know if I told you that or not, I did a performance of my cabaret at Creative Life Center.
I remember that.
It was awesome. So I was going back to pick up on where I left off after she died. And so then I'm out there 2 weeks and COVID hit. And I thought, oh, really? Because how many times have I had to come back here again, right? And I thought, okay, now we're going to have a pandemic bring me back. So I thought, all right, fine. And I could kind of feel it when I came cross country that things weren't right. Just I could feel it in the energy. Mm-hmm. So I packed up my shit and I traveled back across country and watched everything shut down behind me. It was me and the truckers on the road. And the Airbnbs, I was the last person that most of them took in getting back here. And so it was kind of creepy. I remember driving into Bismarck and everything was shut down. It was dark. I thought, oh man, this is really weird. And I went it was very strange because it was just like 6 o'clock at night and there was no rush hour traffic and everybody's shut down and locked up. And I thought, okay, fine, we're going to go to the Airbnb. So I did. And then from there, I stayed the night and then I stopped at a natural grocer in Bismarck. And I thought, and my husband kept telling me, if you see any toilet paper along the way, pick some up, right? And I picked some up in Portland before I left because they were fairly well stocked up there yet. And so I go into this place and they've got a stack of toilet paper. So I didn't want to be a toilet paper piggy. So I grabbed a couple so there was some more for other people. I was the first one in the store, put it in my car, and off I came for Twin Cities. Then I drive in here and I go, there's no traffic here either. So because I didn't really have a great idea of what was going on because I was in my own little space someplace. And so I came home, that was a year and a half ago, and I've been here since, and now I'm really antsy to get going again.
Everybody is. I think you're picking a good time to launch this new project and stuff too, because a lot of people are thinking about, being locked down, and your thing is about freedom. And I think the event business is going to come back strong. It's going to be different. I think it's going to be strong.
Because I think that before that, the internet was starting to take over. And I've been hearing from a lot of people that I know online that go out and do things. He says, people want to be with each other. And you can't really get real clear information on the internet sometimes. And so I'm very encouraged that we're going to actually get a bigger business going, bigger opportunities. And this is why the other thing I'm launching the Freedom Project, but also I just decided today my actual one-woman shows are going to be kind of put into more personalized, more intimate concerts. But I'm going to be going out to bigger places with something called Ascend concerts to help humanity rise. And so, because the Freedom is talking about rising, and the Ascend concerts will be new music that I'm in the studio with now here in Minneapolis. I'm in the studio right now with stuff, and it's going to be helping people rise their consciousness with ascending. So those are my two focus. The other shows are there if somebody wants to do them, in like an intimate setting type thing. But I'm feeling those are the things that need to, because of where we're at, coming out front right now.
Sure, you're purpose driven. I think it feels like it's in alignment because people have been penned up. They want to get out. Also, the idea, I think a lot of people realize that what we took for granted before, that I don't really like people, but you know what? Because I'm kind of an introvert, but I'm an extrovert on the stage. Huh?
I'm an introvert too, believe it or not.
A lot of performers are. On the stage, you seem extroverted, and then
yep, me too.
I really never really wanted to be around people, but being locked up like this, I realized I do want to be around people. So I think that this pandemic thing has kind of opened it up for people and says, you know what, I do want handshakes and hugs and fewer clicks and likes and follows.
I agree, and this is what I realized too. Well, you know Lynn Cole, right?
I know the name. I think we met.
She's been awesome women. She's done Oasis Center for Conscious Living. She's done a lot of different things. Well, she does a lot of things. She does a lot of promotions for me, and we always do a lot of events. And we did Solstice last summer. We did Solstice this winter, and we just did an early solstice. It was more of a ceremony for her mom, who had passed away, who I got to know when she was put me up when my sister was dying down in Phoenix. So Lois and I became really good friends. And so we wanted to honor her. And all 3 times we sold out. All 3 times people were so glad to be together. They were hugging, and just so thrilled to be together. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the biggest thing, things that we took for granted. And this gets into the freedom conversation. So we probably should bring Rob in.
Let's talk a little bit about that and go get Rob, because what's happening here, I think, is this whole hybrid. It's not just going to click back to the old way. It's going to be a hybrid, and it's going to have a lot of visual internet-based stuff. So this is kind of the thing right now, the rise to freedom. For those that don't know, Gina produces these shows, and I'm going to go get Rob out of the green room here. You got a little knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. And there he is, Rob. Greetings, Rob. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
You notice he's got an accent. He's from the other side of the pond, and that's one of the other things I think is fascinating about the internet is how we can bridge that. I mean, it used to cost a lot of money to talk to somebody on the other side of the pond. Now it's free.
Now we here can see. It's awesome.
So, Rob, you're involved with the video element of it, and you're helping Gina with the video capabilities, and that's an art in and of itself, trying to convey what real life is in a video type format that has the retention and keeps people interested, because it's easy just to click off and leave.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find when I'm actually creating the video and editing and collecting the clips that are going to go and make the story, it's got to a stage where I'll sit and contemplate for a few minutes before I start to try and do that, to draw in the clips and create that co-creation with source. And then the clips, they jump out at me, and I don't have to, it's not something I have to spend hours and hours searching through the internet for the clips. They actually come towards me, I find, which is helpful.
How long have you been doing the video thing?
A few years. I met Gina actually in the States a few years ago. I think, was it 2017, Gina? And you were in Oregon at the time.
I was in Oregon. Mm-hmm. I'm always in Oregon.
And so I interviewed her then. It was a really amazing interview.
It's bizarre how
and we've been friends since. And
like that. I think it's very interesting how people from different places connect. Like, we just got done moving out of another house, and the guy that was moving, he saw my last name and talked with my wife that I graduated from Fridley, Minnesota. And he goes, do you know Mike Onnested? I go, I do know Mike Onnested. This was the son of one of my classmates.
Oh,
Kinda
really?
weird. Yeah. So it's kind of strange. So you guys connected for something bigger than just a general passing.
We actually connected through a mutual friend, a man by the name of John Jenkins, which we call JJ. I met him back when I was working with the New Earth Project about in 2014. He brought me in. They were doing a compilation for the New Earth Project, music project, and one of my songs, "These Are the Days," was put on it. And so JJ was in charge of that compilation. And it ended up being, we worked together for a while, and I ended up being put director of New Earth Theater, which we never really got off the ground because it just wasn't time for it yet. And we met actually several people that we all know now and still stay in touch with. Tiana, I met through there, Rob. Stash, who's another friend, he's in Oregon. He was a big video sound guy. He did all the big blues festivals out in Portland and Seattle and stuff back in the day. And so he's part of it. And Greg O'Neill, I think, was part of that too, Rob. And I think you know him. I know JJ still knows him. Okay. So it's been interesting, like you say, how people connect and then they just kind of go from there.
So what is the Rob role? What is your role working with Gina? I mean, it says video, but that's kind of vague. Can you get more specific?
Well, I think we're very aligned in the way that we view the world. And for a number of years, I've been trying to create empowering content that is empowering people to start to be the director of their own movie in life, or the author of their own book. And I think what's beautiful working with Gina is that her music has that message. So it makes my role as the video guy a lot easier. Just picking up, as I was saying, the clips sort of jump out at me and they come very easily. So it is actually a real pleasure and an honor to work with Gina because she does the meat and potatoes, so to speak.
Got the synergy going on.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite words, synergy.
Yeah, I love that word. Yeah.
I look at it as
then Jay, we gotta mention is he comes in and does all the detail. He'll look at the project, at least the video project, because the music's already done. That's me and the guy in the studio and whoever else has created it over time. But he goes back and he looks at little detaily things that we don't see, right? Wouldn't you say, Rob?
Right.
He picks out, he nitpicks, but he does a good job at it.
Yeah, well, when you work very closely in anything, you miss things. So it's great to have that extra pair of eyes that picks out the bits that you just don't notice because you're so close to it.
Yeah. Sure, like she might be doing something that she does every day, which is just common stuff, so it's no big deal. And you look at it and go, wait a minute, we need a picture of that coffee mug that's in the back with the flowers coming out.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So he's the video consultant. He's more of a consultant that he comes in and takes care of. He just looks at it and we go over it and over it and over it, and everybody puts their 2 cents worth in, and then Rob fixes it.
That stuff is so valuable, and I'm very aware of it, but I'm such a self-serving entrepreneur. I end up trying to do everything myself, and I know I should be. Even like creating logos, I kind of do it myself and all that. And you got to have that graphic design eye. Same thing with the video. How to catch something just at a certain different angle. Like an example, I got my glasses on and the light's shining. Maybe I should be looking down so you can see my eyes, or like this, it looks stupid, But a videographer, a savvy videographer, know that kind of stuff. Whereas I don't care. Very cool.
But one interesting thing for sure is that I studied broadcasting at uni, so I learned, how to make TV and all of that sort of thing. But as with most things in this world, it's been sort of inverted, if you ask me. So I work sort of back to front from the way that school told me to do it. For example, I find music first rather than putting it at the end. When you've made the video and then you find the music, I prefer to have the music first because I think the music is actually the most powerful ingredient that you can create the flow of any story through the music. But without the music, it's very tricky.
Gina, this is a side thing that just popped into my head, but do you know Michelle Blood?
It's another name that's familiar, but I
got to connect you with her. She's got this thing with music, and it's like intentional music, and I got to hook you up with her.
Okay.
She's in Australia, so she's got one of those accents also. But lovely lady, and she's got a very powerful thing she's doing music, and I think you guys could
Cool.
help change the world.
That's our goal. That's our job, right, Rob?
Is there a launch for your? Let me pop that back up there again. Boop boop boop. There it is. The Rise to Freedom.
Well,
Is
it's
there
already, the video's been launched, and
Okay.
we're just letting it sit right now and kind of steeping on other ideas around it. And actually, yeah, wouldn't you say that's the way to put it, Rob? Right now, we're looking at directions to get the exposure on it, I think.
Yeah, we're looking at a number of different options for promoting it, and you know, there's Mike Lindell is in Gina's backyard, so we're trying to get in contact with him, and perhaps he would be able to play it at a rally, which would, you know, catalyze it, and hopefully bring it, yeah, give it a lot of ears to listen to it and eyes to see it, because obviously it's an intentional film and music, so more people that see it, the better. And the message, I hope at least, is an empowering one for everyone. You know, we are in a time which is extremely challenging. We're losing a lot of the things that we took for granted before. And as you were saying before, like in the lockdown, you have a chance to reassess and to be, you know, to go inside, introspective, and to reconsider, you know, what's really important in life, and the value of your time, and what you really want to, what we're really doing here. You know, I also almost thought it was like being told off by God, you know, sent to your bedroom to consider what it is we've done. Yeah, that was like the lockdown for me.
You know, the word freedom, I think people are just looking for the freedom thing, and with this pandemic locking down, and then there's, I mean, not to get political and all that kind of stuff, but the regulations of the mask wearing, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
I don't even like stop signs. You know, if there's nobody around, why do I need to stop? If there's people around, maybe you got to be careful, but there's nobody around, let's just go, like the roundabouts, like they do. So I think people are just really, after realizing that they're locked in quarantine, they can't go anywhere, and if they do go somewhere, they got to wear this mask, and there's all these things, and these dang things, these phones. Freedom, I think, it's more evident than ever right now, with all the crazy stuff that happened with the politics, and you know, the George Floyd thing that happened over here, and people can't, with the curfews. I couldn't believe that. I had my phone on, all of a sudden it says there will be a curfew at 7 p.m. I go, where did that come from? People telling me that I can't go outside.
There was a very good meme that was saying, can you help me? I'm in you know, my partner is not allowing me to use my phone, not allowing me to go outside. I'm under house arrest, sort of thing. And all of these things that essentially the governments have been doing. And then at the end it said, is this an abusive relation? Is my partner being abusive? You know, and then obviously it transferred it and said, is the government your abusive partner? You know, and have we all got Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah, wow.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Well, Janis Joplin said, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, right?
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to not have anything to lose, but I really value my ability to get up and go and do anything. Like when I drive to an event, I like to drive by myself in case I want to leave early. If I want to go somewhere else, I like to have my freedom. So do you have any plans for like a tour or a concert or something like that?
Well, what I'm looking at is these Ascend Freedom concerts. But actually they're just called Ascend. They're just called Ascend, right, in the concerts. And they're going to be based around freedom and rising up, similar to what the other thing is, because I've just written a new song that I'm going to go in the studio with on Wednesday. It's called Love is Our Shining Star. And this is showing our way out of this. Rise to Freedom is asking us to rise up and pay attention, see what's going on. Whereas Love is Our Shining Star is starting to show us how to work our way out of it, as is Ascend concerts. Mm-hmm. You know, that music is going to be more for, you know, the how-to thing. And I just came to all of this today. I'm not sure. I would like to launch them here soon, but I have a commitment that I'm not sure is going to come through or not in Tucson. So I'll know that shortly. And if I'm down there, I'll start them from there. If I'm here, I'll start them from here and then let them move from there. I'm thinking of possibly, you know, contacting some of the New Thought people with this as far as for their communities, and also thinking about using them as fundraisers for any kind of community that got hit hard through all of this, where, you know, they can make some money off of this, you know, by hosting it. And again, I haven't got all the details, and some of this I haven't even told Rob about. And what I'd like to be doing, particularly if I can go into some of these spiritual communities and things like that, they've got sound systems and people there that run that stuff. So I can sing these songs live and then put his work behind me, which could be super powerful, bringing the two mediums together. Wouldn't you say, Brad? You know,
absolutely. I remember you and I were talking a long time ago, and I think I was working on something in either Jamaica or Costa Rica or something in Tulum, Mexico or something, and I was saying that your one-woman show could go down there, and you said that you wanted to be in New York, and you wanted to be on the and I said, you can be both. You can go to Tulum and broadcast it on the big screen. And what is it? Where is that big thing? And
well, this is what I'm thinking with these concerts. It's the theater. These other women shows are very intimate. You've seen the cabaret. Mm-hmm. You haven't seen my other two, but you've seen the cabaret.
Well, let me interject something there. I think it's going to be better that way because, you know, you don't want to go to a thing and have 500 people there. You can't really talk to anybody. I'd like to have 50 or 15 and get to meet the people.
Okay, well, let me finish what I'm saying, though. Yeah. When it's just music, there's something different about doing a concert and having it streamed versus doing theater and having it streamed, because theater is supposed to be live. You know, it's supposed to be live, at least in my world, because part of what the theater part does is help connect us back to the earth. And I mean, this is a conversation that maybe at this point I might change my mind on, but I have thought about with these concerts is to start live streaming them as well. Mm-hmm. You know, depending on the venue I'm in, because I have to make sure I have a good tech crew. So I'm not doing all the stuff myself like I did in that. Well, I think I had sound and lights in the place you saw at the cabaret, didn't I? Mm-hmm. That was that place downtown St. Paul.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so I'm working out all these details because this honestly, other than the Rise to Freedom, it just channeled through me. Like your wife said when she watched me on stage, she says, she could just see everything channeling through me. And that's what happens. And so even when I'm performing live, it's weird. So what I did with this Rise to Freedom is I was watching and I was observing and I was taking in what people were experiencing and what they were seeing and everything going on. And I thought, and that song was written in like a day, and then it was in the studio and recorded in 9 days, and that doesn't happen very often. I mean, it takes a bit of a project. And then I talked to Rob, and then it went to a video state, and he even finished that. I mean, I think 2 weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, the whole project was done.
I think when things are divinely inspired, things happen a lot faster. They flow. Everything falls into place much quicker than you're trying to conceive it.
And you see these Ascend concerts, because I've been asking, I says, okay, what's the next step? And it was like, put my one-woman musicals, which are literally one-woman theatrical musicals, back, focus on these Ascend concerts and the video, and tie this all together, because this can reach larger groups of people that could, because a lot of times people don't understand my other, you know, what I do in my other shows. They don't understand that it's more than a show. I mean, again, it's teaching at the same time.
On a marketing level, you just want the ones that do understand. You don't really care about the people that don't understand.
But I think the ASN concerts coming back out again, more people will comprehend that will lead them to the other shows. Does that make sense from a marketing standpoint?
Absolutely. There are people that are strictly opposed, and there's a friend of mine, Larry Wingett, and he's very this way, you know, you either love him or you hate him. And he says, even if you hate me, you'll still follow me.
Sure. Well, and that's
so
true.
Absolutely, you're going to be pulling other people off the periphery. that are on the edge, on the fringe.
And that just came this morning before this interview. So you go figure. You know,
There you go. That's what I say. When the stuff's supposed to be. Well, we've gone a little bit more than 25 minutes here, and I like to keep these kind of tight so that people have enough time to consume it rather than a 3-hour webinar or something like that. Is there anything else that you would like to share about where you're going? And Rob, maybe if you want to start off and interject some of the things that you think that are going to be happening with this project.
Well, I'd just love to see Gina do it live, perhaps at one of the rallies that's coming up. And, you know, if anyone's listening that has ideas of how they could help promote it and would like to get involved, then just contact myself or Gina at, is it info@risetofreedom.net? The email address, Gina? Yeah. And yeah, you know, the more of us that get involved, the better, because we can really shift what's happening on this planet quite quickly when we come together. And I think it is that time. It's the age of unity. Let's stop fighting each other, come together, and, you know, create a better world for everyone, because it's right on the cusp.
It's a lot easier when you collaborate than it is when you compete. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Gina, you got some more you want to add?
I think Rob concluded it quite well, because basically my projects are what I just said. And that's where I'm focused right now, to get these videos out. Because I think we're going to do, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, we're going to do Love is Your Shining Star will be our next one.
Yeah.
Is our shining star. And so we're going to combine the live performances and the videos. And that's where my focus is on these Ascend concerts and the videos that Rob and I do together, and with JJ's help. And see what we can do to help people and inspire people to rise for freedom, to rise to freedom. And the reason I say rise to is you have to become it. I mean, you have to get to the place of, okay, and know that you are a free person by, I'm sure you're familiar with natural law, right, Brad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in natural law, freedom is our God-given right. It was given to us by Creator, whatever you want to believe Creator to be. And we need to bring ourselves back to that.
Absolutely. I mean, the Secret, you remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
I think Michelle Blood was involved with that.
That's where I might be name.
I interviewed a few of those folks, and I think she came in. And if you ever read the book, Deepak Chopra's 7 Laws of Spiritual Success,
yeah,
it's about natural law. And if you follow the natural law, it's kind of easier to make it happen. But this is how you get a hold of you, right? Right there.
And that's my website. And that's got all the information to get a hold of me and the project. There's a big thing up on my main page that says, rise to freedom. You can just go on there, see the video. There's a free download of the music. And there's information on Rob's website there. And there's information on just, how to get a hold of us separately. Perfectly.
I'm going to pop into the green room here, if you don't mind, let you consume the rest of the digital hors d'oeuvres we've got back there. And then if you want to stick around, we can have a chat after this, but I'm going to close this off and shoot it off to the universe and let it propagate.
I've just popped my website in the chat.
Let me see that. Let me pop that one in here too. 1 second.
So then people can put that in front of them.
That's the way
you can
to
see
do
all
it.
of the other videos too on that site.
Little harder to read because a little bit longer, but if anybody can see that, you want to stop your video, put it on pause, and you can read that right there. There's Dragonfly Pictures is that Flickstars with a Z?
Yep.
Stirs.
Stirs.
Yeah.
And if anyone has empowering video content of any kind, really, music, video, documentary, presentations, readings, then please contact me again at info@risetofreedom.net, and I'll put your content on my website because it's free from the fear of censorship. And yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and stick around in the green room. I'll come back and grab you as I sign this thing off. Thank you guys very much. Peace and happiness.
Thanks. It's good to see you.
Thanks very much. Blessings.
Well, that was fun. I enjoyed it. I like doing these things and meeting people from all over the world. That was Gina Citoli, and I met her years and years and years ago. She's a musician and I guess peace activist and spiritualist, and I love her. So that's enough. Peace, love, and happiness to you. This is Magic Brad signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.